upon this before in our first meeting. How do you deal with failures and losses? I mean, I've been there. It hurts. It sucks. I even like dwelled on a loss for like a week. So how have you dealt with your the athletes that you train?
I mean, I'm an adult, so it's easier for me to look at a loss in the greater picture. But for them, I understand because I've been there and I'm their coach. So it's my job to put myself in their shoes to really comprehend how they're feeling. But I can see how for them, you know, it's it's a bigger impact because they don't have that level of experience and maturity of having gone through things, maybe not coming first, having lost, having made mistakes, not the way adults have. So I always try and think, okay, how are they feeling right now? And I got to recognize that. And there's nothing wrong with how they feel, like, yeah, can you be over dramatic and take it to the next level and dwell on it forever? And then you're out of the sport. Absolutely. It's my job to rein them in and say, okay, let's take a look at what happened. You know what? Okay, you lost. You really wanted it. It didn't happen. So what do? Do we dwell on it forever? No, that's going to be endless suffering forever. So you have to accept that, did you do your best? And if you did, and you still lost, I mean, there's still some positives there because you tried your best. And did you get the result you wanted? No. So now let's go back and let's see, what can we address? What can we do to maybe get you to the result you want or closer to it? And, like for me, it's not about winning. And I do say that to them. It's not about winning. It's about improving. I don't care if you get first place, second place, top 10. I do care that you're going to improve, like your own personal time and personal best. Or maybe it's because we're working on something technical that it's going to take you a lot longer to get to the top or get that medal. And it's hard to rein them in and make them understand because they're not great at patience either. They just don't have that experience. And it's not something that's wrong. It's just a matter of their age. But some of them are pretty devastated, and you give them that comfort, that reassurance, and I try and get them to, focus on the next thing. Because, let's say you've got a couple multiple events and you lost on your first one and you're really disappointed, you got to pick yourself up and we got to focus on the next thing. So it's a lot of, feel sad right now, feel disappointed. I'm glad you care that you lost, because some kids might be like, and if you don't care, you've lost that passion. But if you do care, and it hurts, and it should, but now what do we do? What do we do after? So I try and go, let's focus on the next one. And no matter what, like, to me, you looked better, you ran better, you felt more relaxed. So whether the time is maybe a little slower, it's also like you put in your best effort. That's an accomplishment too.
I was also going to say, I remember when we first met, you also talked about focusing on the present. And I love how you're mentioning, like, yeah, there's just many events coming up, right? There could be like 5 events. And if you're only thinking about that loss, how are you preparing yourself for the future? How are you preparing for those next ones? If you carry in that negative mentality, or like, you set yourself up for failure, and you're going to repeat those same failures coming up. And like, and even focusing on too much of the time, like, in training, sometimes in training is going to be like a personal best. You're like, yes, that PB is nice. Oh, I'm going to be racing that, and maybe sometimes when the race comes, it's not going to be the same. It might not happen. I've had that. I'm sure many others have as well, right? Or maybe you might even run faster, right? So the Mexican families are very big. So that's how it goes. Jareem knows, man. You understand all the time.
If you want to hear more stories, don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like. To support more youth by youth led projects, visit us at youthspeak.ca, where you can donate and spread youth mental health awareness.
YouthSpeak Performance Charity. Speak, inspire, change.